Welcome back, everybody, to Cryptocurrency Weekly, where I keep you up to date on what's happening in the cryptocurrency space. From technology updates to the latest news, we have you covered. So if that's something that interests you, please subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up, and please comment your thoughts below. This channel is for information purposes only and is not investment advice, nor is it buy or sell signals. This is my opinion, and that is all. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. Big shocks in the crypto world all over. I mean, governments are sort of giving us a bit of a hard time, aren't they? So we've got Bitcoin mining is being banned in China, also different sorts of regulations all over the globe. Now, let's get right into it just so we can keep you up to date with everything that's going on, just to keep you informed with all of the latest. Bitcoin mining hash rate drops to 1-year low, difficulty set for 25% decrease. Concerns about the extent of the China crackdown have contributed the past month's decline in Bitcoin's price to about 34,200. China's crackdown on cryptocurrencies has been a blow for Bitcoin, mining companies and pools based in other countries, with some hit harder than others. However, for active miners in other parts of the world, it might be good news. Bitcoin's mean hash rate, a measure of the computational power working to secure the blockchain network, fell 94 EHS on Sunday, the lowest since May of 2020, according to data from Glassnode. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin mining difficulty could see a 25% drop at the next reset, likely on July 3rd based on Glassnode's estimates. A downward adjustment of the size could be the largest in Bitcoin network's 12-year history, according to Compass Mining. As hash rate declined, the number of daily Bitcoin earned for each unit of computational power likely increased, which certainly wouldn't imply more Bitcoin for active miners, according to Doctor. The dollar equivalent value of the proceeds is harder to predict given the cryptocurrency's notorious price volatility. So concerns about the extent of the China crackdown have contributed the past month's decline in Bitcoin's price to about 34,200 now, from an all-time high near 65,000. I mean, give or take, it's 32,000 last time I checked. But yeah, there's no secret that this month that we have seen quite a fair bit of pain in the crypto market. It's not easy when you're seeing your market value or your at-risk capital going up and down like a yo-yo like this, or just recently down. So there's no doubt that we're in a bearish trend. Doesn't mean things are going to turn around, but just stay level-headed. Now the question is, I guess, should we be concerned as Bitcoin holders or just cryptocurrency holders in general with everything that's going on in China? Not necessarily. I mean, not specifically to China. I mean, it's not like they're banning the entire world from the Bitcoin network, and China do have a pretty strong history of banning things such as Facebook, Reddit. I don't think their citizens are even allowed on these platforms. So it shouldn't really come to a surprise to anybody that China is the first one that's jumping on the bandwagon here of essentially banning Bitcoin in their country. They've done it with other technological advancements in the past, and they're going to do it with this, and they're already getting their digital yuan, which is their own government version of a cryptocurrency, which isn't really a cryptocurrency, in play. I mean, that's going to be tracked by the government and controlled, so it's not really a cryptocurrency at all. What actually makes the Bitcoin network more secure. So why is this actually fantastic news for Bitcoin? So with the unfolding of the hash rate migration away from China's Bitcoin hash rate dropped significantly. So the largest infrastructure displacement in modern history is taking place. Roughly 45% of the Bitcoin mining industry is relocating continents. So that is absolutely massive. So does this affect users? Blocks may take an extra minute to be mined temporarily. Other than that, Bitcoin is completely unaffected. So this should show you the resiliency of the Bitcoin network. I mean, if you had an entire country and the mining's just been taken out, the network hasn't really been affected. The network is still running. Okay, it might take a bit longer for blocks to be mined, but other than that, we're still full steam ahead. Bitcoin doesn't care. According to Nick Carter of Castle Island Ventures, Bitcoin mining is largely self-contained industry, so banning mining does little to inhibit Bitcoin transactions or exchanges. They are totally distinct concerns. And Peter Smith, also from blockchain.com, who is the co-founder and CEO, he recently stated his opinion that it's actually fantastic news for Bitcoin. So you're going to see diversification of mining operations around the world. So as we know, there was a little bit more of centralization within China, within Bitcoin mining. They could potentially, there was an outside chance, a very outside chance, like very, very outside chance that they could launch an attack on the Bitcoin network. But now they're having to move, that decentralized the network further. So He continues to say we've been seeing that trend over the last 2 years. As large mines are built in Europe, the US, and a variety of other geographical locations, but that trend is going to accelerate hard now. So while several analysts occurred on the point of the view that the reduced hash rate need not be a concern in the long run, they also warned of its short-term effects. Furthermore, just for the short-term issues here, so for Zach Viol, so everyone is paying attention to Bitcoin miners lately, he says on Twitter. Hash rate is down, difficulty is down, and price is down. Here's some data on what's happening. So he ran over hash rate almost always goes up and to the right, but China's crackdown broke that trend for now. I'm surprised we haven't seen more miner death spiral headlines at this point. Those are probably coming soon. Hash power rarely, if ever, disappears though. It will be back. So we can just see here, it's just fallen off an absolute cliff. So as documented by Glassnode, miners' revenue experienced a setback of 80% since May. So in fact, only 58 Bitcoin blocks were mined throughout the entire day, which represents a drop of 60% from the baseline of 144 days. So obviously we're just going over here how the hash rate has sort of dropped, but nothing to be too concerned about, right? So it is the largest drop in hash rate in the area of the industrial mining as of today. Mining difficulty is expected to drop by 20% this Friday. So it just goes to show in the short term, might be creating a little bit of issues, but in the long term, it just makes the network more decentralized. So this doesn't concern me at all. But somebody who is concerned is JimCramer. So this just goes to show how clueless the mainstream media is about this technology. Let's just have a quick look at what JimCramer had to say.
And I've got the possibility that Colonial isn't the only ransomware. I'm saying that this is not going up because of structural reasons. And I know Tom DeMark feels that this is a great technician. Says 30,000 intraday. Look out. Got a hold. Maybe the buy point. I'm not going there. Sold almost all my Bitcoin. Don't need it.
So it's amazing that after all of this time, JimCramer just still doesn't get it. He doesn't understand Bitcoin at all, okay? Even though he's tried to educate himself on the topic. If you think about it logically, one of Bitcoin's value propositions is the decentralized nature of not anyone having control over the particular protocol. But now that most of the mining power for Bitcoin that was in China has now shipped abroad and made the network more decentralized, somehow he's bearish on that. You know, it just goes to show that these guys are pretty clueless, and they've been wrong in crypto for the past 10 years. The last people you want to be listening to is these guys. But moving on. So next up, Mexican billionaire calls Fiat fraud, and he says his bank is actually working to accept Bitcoin. So this Mexican billionaire's name is Ricardo Salinas Pliego. So said he's working with his bank, Banco Azteca, to be the first in Mexico to accept Bitcoin as payment. So we all know Fiat's a fraud, right? If you don't know it, you should know it. I feel like the awareness of, you know, the problems with our money today is getting more prevalent within society. So it's good to seeing people getting more educated on the issues with government-backed currency. So Ricardo, he's the third wealthiest man, and he's the owner of this particular bank, okay, which is his major business empire. So he's just reaffirmed his Bitcoin endorsement, and he's shared that he's working with his bank to become the first in Mexico to accept BTC. So he says here that he recommends the use of Bitcoin, and to him and his bank that are working to be the first bank in Mexico to accept it. If you need more details on information, you can follow Pliego on Twitter. So he goes on to say that he has invested a lot of time studying Bitcoin and believes it's an asset that should be part of every investor's portfolio. Pliego said the finite supply of Bitcoin, the 21 million, is a key part of the whole thing. Fiat is a fraud. So if you've been following my channel, you know that Fiat has an unlimited supply, which devalues your purchasing power and devalues the value of that particular currency. And obviously, we all know that Bitcoin can't be devalued because it's a fully verifiable monetary policy. So it's a very night and day difference with the fiat of today's society. So Pliego also mentioned inflation in his home country, citing the heavy debasement that the Mexican peso has experienced against the dollar since the billionaire started his career in 1981. So at the time, $1 could buy 20 Mexican pesos. All right, but according to Pliego, now that figure has climbed to 20,000 pesos. So for people like this billionaire here who have experienced their home country's currency getting, you know, extremely devalued relative to other fiat currencies, you'll find that these people can see the value proposition of Bitcoin more prevalently than those countries that haven't particularly felt that pain as of yet. So it's not really a surprise that you're seeing these other countries like El Salvador but keeping more of an open mind and trying to adopt this new monetary asset. So it goes on to say the fraud in fiat is inherent to the fiat system, and we can see it take place in the US right now. He continued that the monetary mission went to the moon. The dollar is hard money is a joke. Finally, Pliego said in the video that if he had to choose only one asset, good or currency to hold through the next 30 years, he would select Bitcoin and no stinky fiat for any reason, no paper bills. So he also, the reason why everyone wants to get out of dollars is obviously the devaluation of the paper and the fact that it's backed by nothing. Obviously, gold is historically, a hard money asset. So you'll find a lot of people will find gold attractive as well. So thanks everyone for tuning in today. Let me know your thoughts below. What do you think about the latest news within regards to the latest banning from China within Bitcoin mining? Do you think it's going to cause a little bit of short-term pain within the market? Or do you think that the market is going to realize that this is a bullish scenario for Bitcoin due to the more decentralized nature of the network? Let me know what you think is going to happen, as well as what you think about JimCramer's thoughts and any opposing views as well. And what do you think of Mexico's Billionaire trying to get behind Bitcoin? How do you think he's going to get around the regulatory issues within Mexico, considering Bitcoin isn't legal tender there at the moment? Let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you later. Ciao.